great idea. I mean, there's always going to be people that don't ever read or look at anything the day you start a project. They're like, what are you doing?
People didn't know that they were widening corkscrew.
And I don't know what the cost would be, but maybe like we have here when you walk in the community center, a poster board up saying this is a
I believe that they were going to do that as well.
All the good selling points.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So can I have a motion from someone?
I make a motion to accept the Juniper proposal for whatever the dollar amount is.
11,600?
Yeah. For their renovation plans.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Can you do a letter?
Oh, your contract
Yeah.
on that, yes.
Yes. And then,
I sent it to you, the chart first review, both of them. At the same time, it's for review.
Right.
Any comments?
okay.
I was going to look at the release documents too at the same time.
Okay,
I'm
good.
sorry.
That's fine. No, fine. I need you to
I
do
may have to have a
that.
caveat to my initial opinion.
Okay. Multitasking.
Trying to understand these things.
Okay, the next thing is the letter that I sent to the village with regard to the 24-hour gas station. They have a tentative meeting for July. I don't want to advertise it because they haven't firmed it up at this point. Once we do have the firm date that it's going to be there, we will email it, we will blast it out to everybody. Bill Reynolds and I and Terry and Lloyd were at a meeting with them yesterday, and we were talking about the sidewalk, which we'll get to, and some other things. Bill and I today put together another letter to them from a joint letter, really pushing the fact that that road will not handle the tanker trucks. And although the developer said that the tanker trucks won't use it, I don't know how the tanker trucks are going to come in from the Corkscrew Road and go back out and try and cross 6 lanes of traffic
Without a light.
without a light. They're going to try and use our road, and that road can't handle the tanker trucks and all that. So we did that, and we added a few other things that we're sending to the village. Is you've got to consider this before you allow that gas station to go there on that road with no traffic light. So Bill and I are working with the village, and what I will ask, and I asked when I was at the HOA meeting last week, once the meeting is set, we need as many residents as possible to attend that meeting, just to say, well, we don't want that there.
What's the date of that?
Tentatively, it's July 14th, but I don't know, they haven't firmed it up yet, and I will let everybody know once it is firmed up, because that is really critical to the community. We don't really want that, and Bill and I put together a letter, and once we have the email set to go to the village, I will send it to Chuck, and Chuck will get it out to you so that you know what else we've said to them. Okay, so that's the update on that. I know we can talk about that. Okay, the next is the change of the meeting from June 22nd to June 29th. Chuck has a conflict on the 29th. Bill? No, that's next year. Bill? Does anything go on here on Wednesday nights?
I beg your pardon?
Does anything go on here on Wednesday nights?
Yeah.
What?
I'm not sure.
Oh, no, June, the end of June. And you don't regularly...
Can we grab a calendar out there? Will it have it on there?
June 30th?
June 30th? You normally don't have meetings and things on Wednesday nights.
Our meeting, we dropped the meeting in July.
Okay, but June 30th, we're looking to have a meeting here.
We shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, because I asked Nicole for June 29th, but we'd like to move it to Wednesday, June 30th. But you don't normally have meetings on Wednesday.
No, there's nothing on that night on the site.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Oh, you have the calendar?
Everything's in the morning.
Okay,
We goes on Thursday, so you won't have a problem.
okay.
But we're done with the focus group, so there shouldn't be any problems.
Okay, I'll check with Nicole tomorrow.
We're thinking the 30th.
We're thinking,
But we can run tomorrow night.
Where's that? Put that on a circle map. Every Monday's at 1. That's it there.
okay, I'd like to make a motion to change the June 22nd meeting to June 30th.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay, I will confirm with Nicole tomorrow that the room is available, and we could have the meeting on June 30th,
Still at 6 p.m.
still at 6 p.m. Okay?
I mean, we changed the date, when we go ahead and change the time?
Yeah, no, we can't do that.
Of course you can, you have all the powers.
Yes, I can. But don't we have to have some meetings in the evening?
You do not have to, that was a policy from years ago when you were going through the
bond
stress of
issue?
your bonds, was to make sure we had some evening meetings so that anybody, if you couldn't attend during the day, you could attend at night. And we kind of lined them up with a couple during season, one kicking off your budget season, your public hearing is a night one, and the one in between, because budgets were very, very important to everybody, so you're not required to, but that was the
Okay.
policy. We continue to carry on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on the list.
Well, the next thing is consideration for meetings for 21-22. If we don't have to have an evening meeting, but for the public hearing, we should have that in the evening for the residents to come. Can we change the February meeting to 9 o'clock in the morning?
Whatever.
Okay.
At your total discretion. I think what we have found over the years is we typically see the same faces, whether it's in the morning
Morning or in the evening?
unless you have a really hot topic.
Okay, section.
And if something comes up throughout the year,
We can always change it,
Yeah.
but I'd like to change the February meeting to 9 a.m. I do think the May, June, and August meetings, because of budgets, we'll keep in the evening, so we'll just have the 3 evening meetings.
Okay.
Okay? So I'd like to change that.
Just need a motion to, that's it.
I make a motion to change, to accept the schedule as changed, with the February being at 9 a.m. as opposed to 6 p.m.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Okay.
Did somebody make the motion on the changing of the June meeting?
Eileen did.
I
I seconded it.
You did, okay.
Yes. Okay. Before we go on to, all right, so the next is the unaudited financial statements. Our cash balance as of last Friday was $770,529. So we are doing well with the cash. And that was on April 30th. That was as of last Friday, these are as of April 30th. The general fund balances, we're doing fine, everything is, the general fund, John, when you do the budgets, because I'm looking at the fuel has gone up and the fuel will continue to go up, so when you're doing budgets, you need to be aware of increasing that.
Yeah, you talking about in the common grounds?
Yeah, I was just looking at the general fund going through the,
Yeah, I was telling, like I told you, somehow that, I mean, I had 8,000 budgeted for it, and it got cut in half, because last year we had 8,000. It's based on a certain amount every month, every time we get a tank, and that's what that number's based off of. And somehow it accidentally got cut in half. It should be 8,000 instead of 4,000 for the total for the year. So it's gonna be high this year.
Yeah.
But,
but again, for next year, we have to make sure that we have enough.
yeah, there is, even at that 8,000, there is. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I put it at like a 4.25 number a gallon to compensate for some kind of increase or fluctuation.
Oh, okay. The revenue bonds for the residents, we have 4 more payments, and that is done, which will be good. A check on the proprietary fund on page 7, due from the $69,000, which is the Common Grounds payroll. Can we start paying that to the irrigation fund on a monthly basis now? Okay.
So
Due from other governments? That's the 69?
The general fund owes the golf course at this time $69,254 for the payroll, because the payroll is all intermingled for Common Grounds and the golf course all in one package.
Page 7, Chuck.
So it's been like that for a couple of years. We've accrued $69,000. We currently owe the water fund 200 and something.
Netted out.
48.
250.
Yeah, pay it there, and then like every month, just continue to pay it until it's paid, until we're square, and then go from there.
I'm going through the budgets for the consolidated. I didn't see anything way out of line. Does anybody have any questions with regard to that? I mean, the golf course, we're doing well. Thank you. I do have one, the administrative, the meeting expenses and travel expenses. That's,
I'm sure Mr. Pender's going to have to show that.
really?
We'll see if
So
we can
he-
make that happen.
So he's going to want it to go back to the golf course and then back,
He's going to want to go
the
back
whole loop.
from where it came from, rather than cross-contaminate, but,
Okay.
yeah, I'll get with him on that and talk about the least painful way to make that happen.
Okay, if that, for audit purposes, if they have to do that,
Yeah.
then if he can monthly just take it from here to there, that I would like him to, I don't want to have to tell him every month, but if he feels it's cleaner to go from there to the golf course, to the,
And he might want to do that quarterly, and that's fine, because
Yeah.
he would pay us back quarterly on that. You know.
yeah. And if that's cleaner for him, and I get it, he'll be in less of a twist if we do it that way.
He's gonna start twitching.
I can hear him now, so I enjoy watching him squirm.
Well, have him squirm, but know that we're okay with him doing it his route, but we would want it done quarterly.
Pretty protective of her needs.
Yes, well, most accountants are. The revenues, we're doing well with everything. Expenses, I don't see anything out of line. Did anybody have anything with, Jeff, I know the alarm cost is high, but we went through that with, is that the alarm or the, on the pro shop expenses?
Yeah, a little. We had some issues with the alarm.
And that's where they were charging us, we need to know every few years we have to budget a little extra because they do a whole audit and they charge us extra money.
Yeah, the fire alarm.
Fire alarm. Okay. And, you know, I said the 2 uncodeds are down to under $10,000. And John, you said you found some more, so we could be down to,
Yeah, like the capital outlay, the tent, that's being capitalized, that's
Right.
still showing up.
okay.
There's some things in uncoded, like I said, there's about 9,000 in there that goes to Jeff.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, that's 20,000 right there.
Right, and we're
You know?
down from 329 to about 10,000. so-
Yeah, like I said, it says that I'm 12.5 over, but I'm in between 30 to 50 under, once we get everything worked out.
Get it all done.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on the budget? I have a motion to accept the budget?
I do have one question. We are not obligated with this new pay raise to minimum wage being 15 an hour. We're not obligated to do a set amount every year. As long as we get to 15 by that date.
No, you have to step it, and it's I believe it's $1 a year. Well, you got to get to 10 this year, and that's $1 a year.
So what if you're already at that, you can wait till you get to that level and then start?
Yes, those that are already there, yeah.
Okay.
But keep in mind, if you get those that are underneath, and you're bringing them,
And this is a tough situation, I know, because you got the guy that's been here 10 years, he's making 16 an hour now, he's like, wait a minute, I'm $1 away from minimum wage.
yeah.
And I get that, I know.
But that's 5 years out for him.
Right, because most of my guys, let's say, are 13.
Yeah.
So I don't have to give them $1 an hour this year, if for some reason we decide whatever,
We
maybe.
can give them a percentage.
But if this was year 3, that $13 a year, then thereafter I'd have to give
You
them
want to
$1.
give them a percentage, and maybe from a strategy perspective, you divide that gap up and do that percentage over the next 5 years to get there. I don't know what it looks like doing the math, if you
Right,
get it
right,
automatically or not, but that might.
That's a good idea, I like that, and at least see what it does, that's what it look like.
Majority of my staff will go up $1 this
Yeah,
year.
you're low enough, yeah.
For part-time.
Okay,
I like that, that's a good, at least see what it does, see what it looks like on paper.
yeah. Okay. Anything else on the budgets? Can I have a motion to accept it?
Financials?
Financials.
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Yes. Okay. The minutes from the last meeting. Okay. On the first page, it was Bill Reynolds. In the minutes, okay, we didn't have his name there. I had nothing on page 2.
Page 2, and a couple of things here from council.
Okay.
Line 52, add on to the end of the sentence, Collier County Clerk of Courts and Tax Collector. Line 60, adjust 110 to 101 an hour.
Okay.
If I charge 110 an hour, I think I'd be able to, I mean, minimum, 110, or minimum 1/10 of what I call.
Yeah, I was,
It's 1/10 of an hour,
okay.
Oh, it is 110.
1,
0.10 per hour, of an hour.
yeah,
1/10 of an hour.
Zero.
Line 60.
Okay, all right, 0 an hour.
It's 1/10 of
After
an
the
hour.
110, there we go, minimum of
Cost off
1/10 of an hour. Correct. There we go. 61, at the end of that line, cross out a slip and fall case and insert
Case against Airbnb.
case against Airbnb.
We're suing Airbnb for not registering as a dealer and paying tourist taxes.
Your penmanship system is my doctor's. All right.
Okay.
That's all we had.
That's it, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Page 3. Okay, I had nothing. Page 4. On page 5, 140, I think that should be Mr. Nixon. Stated that you were looking forward to the firecracker open, not tracker.
Got it.
Okay. And then on line 52, that's Christine Stanfield. I think we should put her full name. And Andy DeSalvo. Years from now, people will look and wonder who Christine and Andy are, or maybe not. Anything for page 6? Page 7. Page 8. I have no other changes. Any other changes? Can I have a motion to accept the minutes as revised?
Make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay. Okay. did that. Staff reports?
Nothing to report other than, I mentioned at other board meetings, I monitor what the legislature has adopted, whether the governor signs it, any legislation. There's some legislation floating around out there that was passed. The governor has not yet made the decision to veto or not that could affect districts, so I will keep truck apprised of that, truck committee apprised. We both have various sort of lists that get information.
What does it pertain to?
I'm sorry?
What does it pertain to?
Well, one is about whether or not meeting notices can be published only by internet-based newspapers. And there might be some others out there that affect other CDDs, not yours, connection fees, impact fees, that doesn't affect Stony Brook Health, believe. But I'll keep an eye on it. When the legislature's in session, no one's safe. It's always good when it's over. And the lease, what I'll do also, Chuck was kind enough to send me 6 documents associated with it. I was trying to skim through them real quickly, so I may have a little bit different opinion after I review them as to what should be drafted, and it may just then report back to the board for the next meeting. Is it time sensitive to Mr. DeSalvo or not?
He was looking for August 1st for us to start the work.
And we've decided we'll get back to him when we get a chance.
Yes.
Okay, I want to look at the list, because the list talks about, it's triple net, the common area maintenance though, and what's responsible, and then report saying that it was the install that was wrong. The installation, I just want to do a little more back.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, so that's.
I'm also conservative on those things.
As a whole, have you seen more CDDs gain in popularity throughout the years in recent times, or are they less and less?
I've seen a lot more in the last few years that have been established. Yeah.
Last time you heard, how many do you think there was in the state? I heard like over 600, but that was years ago.
I haven't checked, but a lot more. I know, like in Cuyahoga County, quite a few established recently. I mean, and I think that they're coming back.
Yeah, we've got 40-plus new dirt CDDs in the pipeline right now for the next 12 to 18 months.
Wow.
Not even developed yet, waiting to wow.
Even some of the prior bad actors are
Coming back in?
regenerating, yeah.
Okay. All righty. Johnson Engineering, Chuck, you're going to check with them about the,
Yep, on my to-do list.
okay, thank you. The irrigation, John, I was looking at it, nothing seems out of line, and it looks like our bad, we only have 2,300 outstanding for delinquents. But there's quite a few below $2 as far as we're going to check those.
Yeah, it's actually not at all.
No, it's really not.
This is an hour's worth of work right here.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
like-
very minimal.
It's less than 3
Very
pages. Yeah,
minimal. And I'm sure most of these people pulled up, their yard's going to be in bad shape.
okay.
As bad as dry as it's been, as hot as it's been, as windy as it's been.
Stony Brook Villas one, why did they build at 88%?
Stony Brook Villas is one. That's Ford Rush, because part of that is,
Part of that field that's connected to that meter that it goes through is the
Golf
CDD.
course.
Common ground.
Okay.
yeah. Chuck, do you have anything? Okay, I do have two more things. When we were at the meeting with the village yesterday, they are going to be putting a walking path from Ben Hill Griffith down past Bellaterra. They are going to be looking for an easement from us by the condo, the lake on the far side of the condos, and by Weymouth. And I said that I would leave all the legal, everything that they're going to, what they're looking for to be sent to us so that I could have our attorney review it. So that, what they're looking to do, and they're looking to do landscaping on both sides of that. So, what they're looking to, I don't agree with it. It's...
Is there going to be a walking path on both sides of Brook Street?
Yes, 10 feet wide on both sides.
But see,
Asphalt.
once again, this ties into, did they already have it? Did we already give it to them back in 2005? Because there's not much room there. When you're talking about that swell, now you're talking about a 10-foot wide path, not to mention its skirts, its sides.
Well, that's what we need, all the legal information. Now, by the condos, I think it was a smaller
Because we got that preserve kind of in that area where they're gonna have to stay on the outside of it.
Right, well, that's part of it. By the condos, they were looking for a 10 to 15-foot easement. And again, they'll have to have it surveyed and do all that. It was not that much by Weymouth, but they're going to have to work around the preserve areas, and they know that.
Yeah.
So that was,
Sorry.
no, go ahead.
We're going to put some kind of barrier potentially.
There's not much room there.
There's no space over there.
No,
At all. You got that lake.
it's right there.
Right.
And the wall thing, as much as we've talked about this before, Chuck, a lot of times,
Let's get a wall.
the sound will bounce over that water because that pond's right there. It'll jump the wall
Yeah,
and actually go over the houses on the lake, so they won't hear anything, but the people across the street, on the opposite side of the street will actually hear the noise more. And it was funny, he told me that the guy that got the wall on 75 kicked off, the complaint, and got that going. He said, he's like, I kind of wish I didn't do it. He's like, because now my neighbors across the street, they hear all the noise from
Yeah, because
75,
it
because it
just-
skips his house and goes over.
Yeah, there's no good answer. But we can't offer them an easement for a sidewalk if we might potentially have to put some sort of sound barrier up.
right, well, that's why,
And there's a possibility that they might already have that easement.
on that.
I don't think the sound issue is going to be as bad on Corkscrew, obviously, as it's on Sunset.
Well, and
6 lanes?
Phil,
You got a stoplight right there.
It's bad, dude, it's expanded so
oh
much.
my God, it's the worst.
I'm saying
It's not just the sound,
I'm not saying it's not going to be bad. It's not going to be as bad as 75.
Oh, yeah, well, 75, yeah.
So,
Them
but
trucks
again,
breaking, man? Oh.
but I'm not making, I said you need to, what you're looking for, you need to get to us so that we can look at it, so. And they were talking, I mean, they're not even going to start that until the road work is done. So it's down the road, and so we've got, the landscaping, the county, the village, I mean, there's a lot of working parts here, so.
How did they get this easement on 05?
It was the CDD board, and the signature was Jim Bosch.
that wasn't fully resident, the CDD board, because that wasn't until 2006.
That was Lennar Control.
Oh, no, yeah.
There would have been,
Yeah, I
sorry,
think some of the board members also indicated as part of the overall package with, okay, you're doing the restoration plan, and I know you might do this, or we have additional items we need.
Right.
This is the time, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So these are the things that we want at this point. Now, there's one other thing that they brought up, and that was brought up at the meeting, just food for thought, and it would entail Miramar, TAQ, and the CDD board going out of our development to the traffic light, where there's the left lane, the straight lane, and then people try to use the dirt to make a right. Would we be interested in expanding that to make that 3 lanes? But I guess all 3 would have to be in agreement with that. From what the village said, that seemed to be how they looked at it.
we've already looked at that, and there's not enough space.
Well,
I'm
that's,
almost positive we had and it's not just us going out there going, it's not enough
Without
space.
hitting the sidewalk.
right, because
You
you'd
got
have
sidewalk, you got utilities, you got
Right.
traffic poles, traffic light poles right there. We've been down
to,
that
we've been
road.
that road, but I just
Some of that
think,
stuff's gonna be moved though.
That's what I was about to say, a lot not that was there, now they're thinking
Some
redone.
of those poles are gonna be moved, right?
some of those poles are going to be moved, again, but that's something that,
Sidewalk.
Move the monument redone at the same time. They're
you want to play this game?
exactly.
This is what we're going to play.
I would like to see 3 lanes there, and 3 exit roads.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it would make sense to
We can
have
make
a right, I mean, a left, is that left? Left,
Yes.
right, and straight.
Or 2 straight, because you're going only 2 lanes.
Right,
So in that, instead of the right people having to stay in the left lane and go straight, the right lane can be used that way.
Both.
Yeah.
so I've heard nothing more. I just wanted to bring it up that is a thought. I was not on the board when that was discussed. You would remember that?
Yeah, we definitely.
It seems to me that the HOA was down that road one time.
It
So-
was more than discussed. We had some
A survey
studies
done.
done, and yeah, it wasn't
And then Sean, who works for planning and development in Benita, I asked him to look at it, and he said it's not wide enough. So, I think that's a pipe dream that they wanted done. But I just wanted to bring it up, that may be something that will come. But again, I don't think it's wide enough to house the 3 lanes without taking out our sidewalk, which they're having, so.
They built the sidewalks, for sure.
Yeah, and then, if they're putting all these other sidewalks in, how are we going to get to that? So. Okay, so that's all I have. Any other board members?
I got a question. How do we, it sounds like there's an interest in trying to buy that building. How do we?
Which building?
The pro shop, the clubhouse.
Well, how do we?
I'm just saying, how do you proceed if you want to do that?
Takes 2 to tango, you have to ask.
I know how to proceed.
But how do we go?
We can formulate a blind potential buyer and commission a real estate company to go in on our behalf. That's how we do it.
Okay. Well, see,
Showing interest in purchasing the building.
right, because Jeff and I were talking about, when we say to them, we're in no rush to do the air conditioning, why? You want it done, are you thinking of selling? Because when Jeff and I met with Andy and Christine back in March, when we first went over a lot of these things, I said, so are you going to sell the building? And he was just, well, maybe, and so I'm almost thinking that they want this AC done so that the building's in shape to sell. So if that's the case, and that they are truly thinking of selling, you build that into the price and
He
say...
did say at that meeting that the CDD would be given the first right
Right of first refusal.
and at least 30 days to respond. So,
We can always draft one up and hand it to them.
That's what I'm asking.
I mean, there's no reason why, if he's giving you 30, it's not like he's gonna blind sell it out from under you.
Right.
If he's giving you 30 days, just go to him and say, hey, are you still interested in selling? Can we start the negotiations?
Is that something we... Let's see
And I
what
think
the...
from there, we gotta see if we can secure the
We've done
funds.
it before. All we have to do is approach them, because at that point, they were asking some crazy number.
It's probably gonna be crazier now, right?
Because that's what fueled us to go over and start talking to Miramar about getting that piece of property there.
Right.
They didn't want to sell, they wanted to do a 99-year lease, and by the time we crunched the numbers, we were in the same financial boat. So we just stuck with what we had.
But I think they were a little disheartened with Duffy's last year because they lost a lot of money. So, that might be, and Duffy's is doing okay, I guess.
What was the crazy number that they threw out?
Was it 10?
Oh, 10 million?
I think it was something more like 5.
Yeah, I think it was 5 was
But
the
even
number.
5, because I think we figured it might have been worth 3 to 3.5 at that
Maybe
point.
1.5 for it.
It's gonna be 6 or 7 this time, I would bet you.
Nobody's gonna pay that.
No.
So, that's something, let's see what we do with this air conditioning thing, see what they come back. If they push that they want it done, why do you want it done, and pursue it at that point?
But we definitely need to pursue it. Especially with the
And
positive.
Yes.
let me ask you this, even though it's not worth $6-7 million, right? Stony Brook's not going anywhere. Eat it, buy it, eat it, and then when you get out of it,
We're gonna have to pay more and more for it,
Right,
no question. But because of the positive cash flow from Duffy.
that looks great, yeah. And then once they get out of that,
Guys, can we have one discussion at a time, please? Sorry, we're almost done.
We're going to end up having to have an appraisal anyways as a basis for whatever you decide you want to offer. So, if you want to authorize ordering an appraisal.
Fair market appraisal, right?
fair market.
Can we do that on a building we don't own?
Yep, you can do that. And if you want to do ask them about a right of first refusal of 30-day, you don't need to put anything in there other than give the right of first refusal. Typically what it says is, if he has a contract, or TALC has a contract to sell, TALC will show that contract to you. Then you have 30 days to say, we take it as in the same terms and conditions, or no, thank you.
Okay.
And so, I don't know how long it'll take to do an appraisal of that property.
It'll take 2 to 3 weeks, so we would eat up most of your 30 days. So you need to get one ahead of time, I think, so.
Well, I say we go ahead and do it.
Definitely.
But, I mean, we're looking for that. I mean, I generally do undeveloped land. It's probably going to be 3 to 5 weeks. Yeah.
What's an appraisal for commercial cost?
To parking lot, et cetera. He's quick.
How much would an appraisal like that roughly cost?
About 3 to 5.
3 to 5, not 3 to 5 weeks, 3 to 5,000, that's what, yeah.
I mean, I can do empty lake tracks and things like that in a new development, and I do those all the time, and it's about 3 to 5 to do an entire section.
Okay.
With a building like this, it's a lot more involved than just looking at land comparisons. So
Well, shouldn't we see if he's interested before we pay $5,000 for an appraisal?
if, yeah, here's the catch.
If you act
If he's going to
interested.
give you the right of refusal of 30 days, I'm going to eat up most of that just trying to get an appraisal to
I
get
see.
the basis for making a count. So
I would say-
I'd say we get it so you have an idea of where you should be looking. in
Right,
terms
so
of
if he
dollars.
comes back and says, you know, I'd like X amount of dollars, well, we have an appraisal that says it's only
Yeah.
worth this.
Let me do that.
So I think it's money well spent.
I agree.
And this is not golf course money, this is general fund money.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming this building would be used for more than just golf.
Oh, yeah,
If we purchase it, it would become a community building with a portion of it dedicated to the golf operations.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. You can certainly do that.
right, and another bathroom with a urinal.
Or put the cart barn closer to the pro shop.
Yeah. Any other,
Yes.
okay.
Do we have to make a motion about that?
Do we need a motion for the appraisal?
I've got adequate direction.
Okay, thank you. All right.
One thing, John, didn't we do some sound studies over on Weymouth?
Yes,
I know
remember-
you did.
You did.
At some point.
I remember doing it on 15 and 9. I don't remember doing it on Wayne.
I think we did it out on the
Oh,
road.
yes, I had
we did.
Crosby going to take those measurements down.
Yeah, when all this was starting, we wanted to get a baseline.
When they were doing the
Of what
road
the
work
sound
down there
was.
with the trucks, yes.